So everybody has to acknowledge the recording.
Got it.
Okay, so welcome everyone to the March, what is it, 15th edition of Genealogy, Omaha, Carlentini, and beyond.
So
And,
is the 1950 census coming April 1st?
It is. You were right, Dean. Dean reminds us that the 1950 census is going to be released. And so why don't we do a round robin? You know, if people can keep it down to just a few sentences, let's go around the room, and we'll start with Deb since she was here first.
Nick,
Anything you want to say? Or
I just looked on our itinerary and we are going to Ragusa.
Oh, good. Thanks. Thanks, Chris.
Ragusa, Modica, and Noto.
Oh, good. Thanks.
yeah, I was kind of surprised when you said no, Deb, because that's Eleonora's from lives in Modica, so I
Oh,
would think that she would include that as part of the itinerary. There's some beautiful sites around there. Sherry,
Yes.
we were just talking about Marianne has a cousin in Ragusa.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's probably going to be easiest if they find our location rather than we visit that person. You know, any opportunities for visits are going to be really scarce and probably limited to when we're in Carlentini.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's nonstop go, go, go for most of the trip. You know, we're traveling to a lot of cities throughout Sicily, and there's a lot going on in a short amount of time, that's for sure.
Keep us busy.
We will be kept busy. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, so I need to step away for a minute. If we want to just do a round, feel free to say your piece.
well, I'm Deb Santo, and I joined about a year ago, and I'm retired, so that's why I can attend Tuesday at 2:00 meetings. And I'm very much looking forward to our trip in August. It's been a dream of mine forever.
I can go next. Thanks, Deb. I'm Sherry Kanger. I've been part of the group since Nick started this, I believe in October of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been consistent every week. Unfortunately, for the last couple of months, I've been tied up with a 1.5-year-old almost. And as time goes on, he's becoming more and more needy. So that's why I'm not able to, I forgot about that part of having a child
Must be
around.
sleeping.
You know, he's actually in Arizona right now with his mama. So his mom's a school teacher and she has this week off. So that's why you all see me today. Not chasing after anybody, and I can actually participate. So I've missed you all, and it's so good to know that you all are continuing to meet every week and that this is staying consistent. I love it when we can get new people on, and especially when we can have guest speakers. Those are always, you know, I think monumental times for us to get more attention on what we're doing for our culture and our heritage. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
Well, I'm Marianne Mangiamelli Webster, and I don't have an awful lot to contribute. My daughter Sandy usually does all the genealogy checking out. She's pretty thorough with it too. But I'm here more or less to learn, and I'm really looking forward to our trip in August to Sicily. So wow, this has been a dream of mine for a long time. I got my dual citizenship in 2017 and planned on going then, but things happened and I wasn't able to. So hopefully I'll be able to make it this year and have that dream come true. See some of the family members there. So thank you everybody for all the information that you have.
So who here is all going? Deb and Sherry and Marianne and Chris? Okay. So I expect you guys to take lots of pictures in the cemetery.
Yes, we were going to look for dead people.
Yes, that's what I need. That's, that's the only place you can get a lot of the pictures from the cemetery.
Yeah. That should be interesting.
Hopefully it's good. Nick, I was telling them they have to spend all their time in Carlentini in the cemetery
Hello?
taking pictures.
Well done, Mary Kay. I expect those pictures.
Yes,
Pictures.
the whole
Well,
cemetery.
you're
Everyone
gonna
take a
be-
section. We'll get it done.
Hello?
Well, Nick, you're going before us. We
Yeah.
expect
I
it from
know.
you first.
Hello?
Yeah, we had a meeting yesterday with Eleonora, Silvana, and Erica. And well, we have it pretty well planned out. Plus, my daughter decided she's going to join us, and her birthday is May 3rd while we're there.
Oh,
So
That's
we
fabulous.
have to devote a day to Susie wherever she wants to go. So
When do you leave, Nick?
we leave April 17th, Easter Sunday.
Oh, great,
wow.
great.
Nick, where are you staying when you're near Carlentini? Are you staying in the town itself?
Well, that's another funny story. We looked at Airbnb, and they have, dozens of listings in the area. And we were looking in Carlentini, and then we thought, well, I wonder what they have over by the beach. And so there's a place nearby called no, I can't pronounce it. Agnoni Bagni,
Oh,
which is kind of south of Augusta and north of Syracuse. And so it turns out that the guy that owns the place that rents it out is a cardiologist, well known to both Eleonora and Silvana.
Well, that's nice. I thought you were going Rick Steves. Is this an addition? Is this
Yeah,
like
this
an
is the-
add-on?
Yeah, this is the add-on for our Carlentini piece.
Okay.
And it's a 15-minute drive from the supermarket in Lentini, so.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it seems like I've been trying to plan a trip, but my daughter wants to go, my older one, and she wants to stay on the beach. I said, there's just not as many beach resorts. It seems like it's like an undeveloped coastline.
Yeah, rent a house for $100 a night.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's just that you can't.
If you
I don't
go to, there's the GH, let me see if I can find it really quick, but there's in Giardini Knox, there's a hotel there. You might want to look it up. It's the RG Knox. It was formerly a Hilton.
Okay, let me get a piece of paper.
Yeah, RG NAXOS.
Hello?
And it has, I believe, 2
How's
restaurants.
Savannah?
Giardini, I believe, is just north
Hang on a
of
second.
Taormina. No, south of Taormina. North of Catania, I believe.
Well, and I thought that the beach in Cephalou was supposed to be very, very, very nice.
It is.
Yeah, that's
It's a
true.
beautiful town, and then the Domo is beautiful there.
Oh, I guess I'll go next. My name's Jim Beckman. I've got Castros and Russos and Sequenzias and Italias in my background. And here recently, I've been with the new database that's opened up, that Italian database. I've been looking through that, and I've made a couple of discoveries, and I think Silvana and myself are fourth cousins. Yeah.
No way. That's very close.
That is, yeah, it goes back about 4 or 5 generations, and
Hmm.
I think we share a great grandfather and grandmother.
Wow.
So that is interesting. And then along with that, I've got some other questions that I'll wait for Eleonora and Silvana to show up, because one of the discoveries I made was back on those lines, and the name of my great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother and her husband, I found a marriage certificate from 1835 in the weeds. And but the names are the same, but the family name is different. So I gotta ask somebody, you know, who knows what's going on, or hopefully that if they can tell me, you know, is this a match between, you know, they just change your names over time. But
Like Bologna versus Bologna.
yep, that's
Yeah.
it.
And I saw that, I think it, not sure.
It is, but it matches up completely with the other names. And the birth of the daughter is Maria Brogda.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen it spelled 2 different ways. There's the Bologna, and then there's Maria Brogna.
B-R-O-G-N-A.
Yeah, and that one, I think they're the same person, but I've got to talk to somebody who may have some ideas on that. So that's what I've been working on here, and we'll see how that goes.
Where are you at that there's so much snow? Jim?
Oh, well, that was the other thing. Who all, show of hands, who all knows, has been to Bosco's? Anybody knows Bosco?
Yep.
Raise your hand if you've been there. There's only, what, only one?
Ew.
2? And I have, you know, Bosco's, that the picture behind me is 4th and William. Bosco's is the building over my left shoulder, I guess, and the white building, and that's where DeStefano's and Bosco's and all the rest of it. This is the area where my cousins all grew up down in this area down here.
So when I Google Bosco, Jim, I come up with Bosco's Home Improvement. Is that what you're talking about?
Nope, this is a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
This is a grocery store. These people, it was DeStefano's, and then Bosco, he bought it from the old man, and then they retired here about 30 years ago and moved to Arizona, I think. And at least that's kind of what I've heard of, and I've been to that place many times. That picture was taken about a year ago. So, and that's looking up the hill, and at the top of the hill, if you remember St. Catherine's Hospital, that's,
Oh, yes.
that's at the top of the hill up there.
That's where I was born.
That's
That's
where
where
my brother was.
Yeah,
I was born in St. Joe's, but my brother was born in St. Catherine's.
yep. Favorite place.
Jim, I've noticed in the background, the blue house. I was told when I was younger that the Italians, instead of adding a second story to a house, would raise the first story and put another story under it. And your blue house seems to be one of those.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to take a better look at it when the next time I'm down in the neighborhood, which would be later this afternoon.
Yeah, I have pictures of a couple of those.
Yeah,
Across the street from where my cousin Frank lived.
right. I think I took a series of pictures down there like about 2 or 3 weeks after I first appeared on this Zoom call. So.
What
Yeah.
street is that that's in front of the buildings?
That's William.
That's Williams. Okay.
And then the stop sign is 4th Street.
Okay.
I always
This
thought
is-
Bosco's was a syrup you put in your milk to make like chocolate milk.
Let me think. Yeah. I remember that too growing up.
That's all I know about Bosco's.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was it? Yeah, it was in like it was in kind of a square rectangular shaped can with the center hole on the top.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
Memories.
that's for sure.
I like to be where Gary is.
Yep. All
Ciao,
right.
Silvana, can you hear us?
Ciao Nick, non c'è Leonora, io non capisco niente. I don't understand.
In a few minutes, she said. Yeah, she's gonna be late.
Perché ma stasera vi siete collegati prima.
Well, it's probably
Tonight,
still early there.
What?
Ah, ho capito.
What did you say?
Stiamo Sherry ha scritto che mi state sentendo solo come stai? Ciao Sherry.
I told her we're just updating each other on what's going on right now
Ho
in our
visto che mi hai
lives.
scritto.
Yep. So
Yeah,
I'm telling
we're kind of in between. We changed to daylight savings time and they haven't yet.
Yeah, it's been confusing for me.
So it's an hour earlier for them.
There's a 6-hour time difference instead of 7.
Right.
Which is the normal.
Right. Well, they
They
catch up in a couple.
They
weeks.
have daylight savings time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at the end of March. El fin di marzo.
they're usually like
Daylight
a week
saving time.
separate from us, but right now we're passing a bill that might change that, and then we wouldn't have daylight savings like Arizona.
Mhm.
No, it's the other way around.
We would be just Omaha or the whole state of Nebraska.
The whole state.
Okay.
It'll never pass in this state.
Ah, ho capito, quindi
Done
voi
2
avete
rounds.
l'ora legale.
It'll never pass.
Who hasn't spoke yet?
They want to make it so that
Probably Anita. Have you said anything?
Susan, Anita, Chris, Marianne.
I think Mary Ann did say something.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
yeah,
right.
right, because I mentioned the Caniglia family, we were in Arizona. And we made contact with a second cousin we hadn't seen in many years and found out that his cousin was into genealogy. So he wants to join our group, but is unable to today because he's at work. But he did send a family tree. And Nick, after the meeting, I'll work with you to try to get that addressed to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, because I'm having trouble with it, and it's just the way I work the computer.
Mary Ann, did you say you're related to Caniglias?
Yes, but not the restaurant men. We're another branch of Caniglia family.
Okay, there's one branch from Carlentini and there's another branch from Abruzzo.
I think we're from Carlentini. I'm quite sure we are, yes.
That's all one big happy family.
If we go back far enough, I think we'll find that, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I went back far enough and they're all started by one, guy, one Caniglia, and it just big old branches down from Carlentini. The other Caniglia family that lives on the East Coast is from a Brujo.
It's two distinct
Okay.
Indian families from Carlentini, though.
Sarà Burgio, non Brugio. Burgio.
Well,
You said
I'm
there's
sorry.
two distinct families, Dean?
Yeah.
I know, because my great grandmother was a Caniglia, and her family brothers kind of came and went, but they all ended up staying in Carlentini.
Yeah.
Gaetano, Cornelia, and Grazia Pane is
Yeah.
one of them.
That's
The
fine.
other branch is, I can't think of it. I think it's Rosario, Cornelia, and his wife, whatever her name was.
So Anita, I have a question for you. What are your genealogical goals or your goals in life generally? What's going on with you?
Me?
You, yeah.
Oh, I'm just kind of not doing anything right now, just getting some stuff done around the house. I've been talking to Bob on the phone that I feel guilty I haven't done anything, but Bob and I were talking this morning. I called him right away because article that Eleonora put in the genealogy Carlentini Omaha thing, there on the February 27th, there was a picture of a man that I recognized was in Bob's and the Sequenzia wedding of Connie and Salvador. So we're trying to see if that's really him and what his name was, because my grandmother couldn't remember his name and thought maybe he was a Randoni, but according to that article on Facebook, I think he was a Salerno. So I'm actually not really doing anything, mostly just listening and enjoying everybody's stories right now.
Anita, weren't they good friends with Salernos?
Well, yeah, but there's a couple of Salerno families. The one Salernos that lived on 10th Street, by St. Joe's, she was the sister to my biological grandmother from my real dad's side of the family, and that's how they got. But there's a lot of different Salernos, so.
There's not a lot of them. They're all related.
Oh, wow.
Somehow we're all related.
Yeah, but this is a little bit closer than that. All those Omaha Salernos were related.
It's hard to say. There was one that went to school with Celia LaGreca, and none of the ancestry met up with the families in Omaha, the Salernos in Omaha. It was different. Yeah, I had to go through it with Nick. This is right before the signing of the sister city. And there was one person that if it connected like generations back in Sicily, because there was nothing in Omaha, but all the Omaha ones connected to each other that were of the brother Giuseppe. The other brother, he died in California, and he had one son who never married. So
Those are my uncles.
yeah, so the ones here in Omaha of the family from Giuseppe are all related, but there's another Salerno that had no relation, and if they are related, they go back pretty far somewhere in Sicily.
Yeah, they go back to Carlentini, yeah.
Yeah, but of the descendants of Giuseppe and Sebastiano, those are all related, and most of them are still here in Omaha or close to Omaha or Vegas. But Gary, I'm interested too, once everyone's gone through their updates on how they're doing, how you and I are connected, because when I got my DNA back, I'm not showing that I'm connected to you, but you've said that you're connected to my mom.
Well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Where am I at here? I got it written down.
We can talk after everybody else is gone though through
This is Mary Kay's I got written down. I'm related to her too. And yeah, I found your mom the other day. I was looking, I just put your last name in there, Rayer, and She popped up. She didn't pop up before, so it must have just come back.
Huh.
And I can't remember exactly how now without looking it back up again.
What different services have you guys used for DNA?
I bought an ancestry kit like 3 or 4 years ago, and I finally got around to getting tested in December. The results came back a couple weeks ago, but my mom did her test probably a year ago, maybe a year ago.
Your
And ancestry, yeah. But I think I want to do the 23andMe next.
Yeah, I did that too.
Did they come up differently?
It comes up with a lot less people because more people do the ancestry. But I still found a lot of people. I got
And I
about
think-
3,000 on there that are cousins.
And I
started-
think,
It's
I'm
just
sorry,
in My Heritage.
I think 23andMe goes back, Ancestry only goes back 1,000 years. 23andMe goes back farther. So
But
you're gonna find more connections in possibly the Middle East than you would than you would on Ancestry.
Yeah.
And that's what would be interesting to me. I want to know that ancestry, how far that goes back. I ended up having more German in me than my dad has, which is interesting. My mom's 100% Italian, and somehow I have more German in me than my dad does.
And for me, I had a first cousin who showed up as a second cousin, and a daughter of a first cousin who we just discovered through Ancestry and 23andMe.
Wow.
And she showed up as a first cousin. So it was messed up, you know, because I know my first cousins. I was around when they were born.
Sherry, your mom was a Ruma, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Okay, I told you this once before, the Thomas Ruma.
right.
That's how we're connected.
Oh, okay. So Sarita, when she comes on, that's her dad, that's her brother. Tom is her brother.
Yeah.
And
Her
then
dad was Thomas too, I think.
yeah, and then her grandfather was Alfio. And Alfio Ruma, and my great grandfather was Salvatore Ruma. And those two were the brothers that came over here from Carlentini, Salvatore and Alfio.
So that means you also got connections with Mary Ann Webster, Mandramelli.
Oh,
Yeah.
That name has come up on my ancestry. So has a lot of Nanfitos. But when
Yeah.
I go on the page, none of the names are in green. To show
Meg Manfito Jones is your cousin.
Oh,
Annette Battaglia, David Caniglia.
yeah, those are all coming up on mine. But I don't know how we connect though.
Well, those are all the people. If you go to when you go to Answers, you can see who. If you go to like your tree, you can go to who's sharing your DNA.
It says the shared DNA. It just doesn't say, like, if I click on their tree, if their tree is an open link, it does not show up in green. It'll say the name will be in green if you're connected on that tree, and none of them are showing up green.
Well, don't look at the tree. Look at
Just the people.
Shared DNA. You just click on it.
Yeah.
It brings up everybody that's connected with your DNA. That's the test.
That just means that Sherry, that just means they haven't, your tree or their tree just isn't broad enough to find your common ancestor.
Well, and on a couple of them, it's showing up just strange. I'd love to share with somebody what I'm seeing, but maybe that's for another day.
I kind of sort mine. Well, I have mine, but I have my dad's. And so I sort his by like people with the trees, and then I'll ask them for access to their trees. And that hasn't been terribly useful, but at least I'm trying to get some information that way. And then I keep expanding my dad's tree. I got like 1,300 people there now, just so you'll find more DNA relatives.
Yeah.
Well,
one of them I
the ones
found
you aren't
was-
sure of, Sherry,
Yeah,
is you want to look at what their shared matches are.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Shared matches.
yeah. I go to my mom's side because I'm not as interested in my dad's side, but I'll go to my mom's side to narrow that down, and then I'll go into all aspects of it. I'll look at the shared DNA, and then I'll look at the tree link. And if I know them, I'll click on to say that I recognize them or not.
One of the things you could do too is you can share your results with people, like you could share it with me, and then I could look at it and give you some tips.
Okay, how do I go about, how do you share results?
Well, share your screen and I'll walk you through it.
I'm not showing that I can even share my screen.
Are you on a laptop?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have. the down below.
Well, you know, right now, you just got to move your cursor around until you see the share screen button, because we're getting the transcript that's coming down along the bottom.
It's
Are you
not
guys seeing
coming,
the transcript?
Share screens and a green button on the bottom.
mine doesn't.
Weird. Well, let me show you on mine. So, okay, so.
Sherry, click on that. There should be a black line. And then if you just kind of put your cursor in that black line, you might be able to see where the green button is.
No, I know where the green button should be, but it came
Okay.
up at the top of my screen, not able to
Okay.
share screen. And I have no idea why I'm not able to share my screen.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's
if
All
I-
right, so okay, you what I did is I just went to your DNA results summary, which is this right here. And then in this bar that says hello, Nicholas, off to the right, there's this thing called settings. And so when you click on your settings, so is it there? No, I guess not. So I think it's under sharing. So let's see, anybody help me out here? Let's see, why am I not seeing it? Settings. Sharing preferences.
Sharing preferences.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, you go to sharing preferences. And okay, so you have to have an Ancestry account in order to share with
I have,
someone.
yeah, I have dad's. So I'm trying to find where it says sharing, where you had that. I had to close my
Okay,
screen.
so go back to Ancestry DNA home,
Okay,
and then do you get this little gear with settings?
yes,
Okay, so click there,
okay,
and you should come down to sharing preferences,
got it.
change,
Okay. And I can
and
you.
so you can invite others and manage their access to your DNA test results. So you can add me either by my username or my email. So
Which do you prefer?
it doesn't matter. This is my username in Chimino1. And you can make me a viewer, a collaborator, or a manager. Most people, when they share, either give me a viewer or a collaborator level.
Says the email or username is not working. Okay, so I should just do your email, huh?
Hi, everybody.
Ciao.
Hiya, Nora.
Yeah.
Silvana has been waiting patiently for your arrival.
I know. I know. Unfortunately, there is a couple in my group, the group that I had yesterday, they got COVID. So they are in quarantine in an hotel that is 40 minutes far from here. Ciao Silvana. And I had to bring
Ciao,
them
ciao.
food, and food is never ready before 7:30. So I tried to do my best. I took the food here. I drove as far as there. I gave them the food. I came back here, and now it's 8:30. And if it was at 9, it was perfect. But at 8, I couldn't do that 1 hour before. So it's fine. They're pretty good.
Comunque io ora vi saluto Eleonora perché ancora non abbiamo cenato, mio marito è appena arrivato, quindi
Immaginavo, infatti stavo spiegando questo che ho fatto tardi perché ho una coppia che è in quarantena perché ha avuto il Covid, ha il Covid e nessuno
certo,
gli può
quindi
portare da mangiare e i ristoranti prima delle 7:30 non mi danno cibo e quindi siccome a 40 minuti da qui il tempo di prendere il mangiare alle 7:30, guidare a Ragusa, tornare, sono arrivata in questo istante a casa e anch'io sto
allora
preparando
non
la
sei più in
cena.
Francia, Eleonora, non sei più in Francia?
No, sono a
No, non lo
Modica
sapevo.
adesso.
No, non lo
Sì, I
sapevo, mi
came
fa
back
piacere.
home.
Mi
Yeah,
fa
I'm in
piacere.
Modica. No.
Everyone
Allora,
say welcome home, Eleonora.
Ah, grazie.
Welcome home.
Grazie.
Benvenuto a Sicilia.
Grazie.
Benvenuta in
Esatto.
Sicilia, brava. Allora, devi dire ai ragazzi a Chris Mangano che io domani telefono all'ufficio anagrafe di Lentini perché la signora che mi doveva rispondere non mi ha ancora chiamato. Quindi io
Okay,
domani
so
telefono, vediamo
Chris,
se dice la signora e poi do la risposta.
tomorrow Silvana, she's going to call back again the official anagrafe in Lentini because we were waiting for this lady to call us and she didn't. So tomorrow she will try, Silvana, she will try back again.
Sì, vediamo che mi dice.
So that's for
Grazie,
you,
Silvana.
Chris. So thank you, Silvana. Grazie.
Yes, thank you, Silvana.
Grazie mille.
Speriamo che la signora mi risponda, però mi pare strano, è passata una
Yeah,
settimana e
let's
ancora non mi
keep
ha
our
detto nulla.
fingers crossed.
Sì, speriamo.
Speriamo bene. Allora ragazzi, io vi saluto perché ancora non abbiamo cenato.
Sì, enjoy your dinner.
Ciao, appena ho delle notizie ve le faccio sapere, ok?
Ok, grazie.
Ci vediamo martedì prossimo. Ciao
Yeah,
ciao a tutti.
see you next
Buona
week.
continuazione.
Grazie, grazie.
Ciao,
She wishes
ciao.
us enjoy your meeting.
Ciao a tutti.
Okay, so I think
Ciao.
Jim Beckman had a question for you, Eleonora.
Yes. I'm looking for a holder because I can't hold the telephone, but I can listen to you. I'm not finding anything at home since I came back, but I found a book. I want to thank officially Bob and Anita for this beautiful gift. Grazie. I found your book. And Sherry sent me a box as well. So many nice gifts when I arrived. It was like Christmas for me.
It was Christmas when I sent it. I sent it at Christmas time.
Okay, so let's start with the question.
All right. I just put something on the chat. And I'm looking at stuff from the new database that we got from
Bologna and Bologna.
Yeah, and the name that I see, I'm looking at a marriage record. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Number 2. Can you see that? Did I share? Coming up. Coming up.
Oh, here it is.
All right.
Yep.
Oh,
So you see Maria
Yeah.
Lugna, and her father's name is Salvadori, and her mother is Conchetta Marco. But then, okay, let's see. So this is in 1835. there is and she married a Salvadori Castro. And then there is another, well, now the other one in the chat was the Brogda. How do you pronounce that?
Bronya.
Bronya.
Yeah, see.
Bronya?
Ron.
Yeah. Now all
Bronya.
of these, all of the children that I think Maria with this spelling Bologna and the Brogna are the same person. Conchetta Marco married a Salvador. I've got two different records here. Let me see. How do I get that up? I just had that. Marco. So let me pop up a different screen here. How do I change screens? Do I got to disconnect? Stop share?
Well,
Start.
yeah,
I'm going to start a
you
new
have an
share.
open window already. You can stop share and then reshare.
Yep, number 3. Okay. So this is the family of Salvador and Marco, and then there's a Maria that's down here. Let me see. Where are they at? They're the colorful ones over here in the corner. So I got Salvador Castro and Maria, but then, okay, the Conchetta Marco, I found her twice in my tree. And the other record has her married to this other fella, the Bologna. And I got a Maria that is in the same time frame as the other one. Now, the marriage record in 1835 still has I don't know, the old spelling, but the kids that actually, the first kids that were born to this couple were, let me get the other guys here. Name the right guy. Let's see. So let me get Maria and so yep, these guys, see the Castros all kind of match up. They kind of overlay. Between that and then where's the other one at? Is there another one here? Who's the other guy? I am looking. Salvador. I got to go back through here. What a pain. Sorry. But are these the same person, I guess, is the question. The Maria and this family here with the Bologna and the Brogna, are they the same person?
Yeah, I
they match up.
It's an interesting dilemma, but I wouldn't think Bologna and Brogna would be variant spellings of the same name. I think they're separate names.
But the children, like Maria, kind of matches up between this family. We have Salvador and Conchetta Marco, and Conchetta Marco is the common link between the two different spellings.
Well, I mean, I guess what I would do is
See, I don't, in my research that I've done, I don't see this Bologna name after a certain period of time, only before. So I kind of tend to think that it was changed from this because to go forward, we don't see it. We only see it when we go backwards in time.
Right. Well, that's what, this is, so even in, from the first picture that I showed you, the marriage record, they were still had the old name associated with the family. And then, 2 or 3 years later, when they had the first child, the name had changed.
To what? Did it change from Bologna to Brogna?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
That's what I've seen.
I suppose it's possible.
Well,
I don't know if there's any real documentary way to prove it, though.
There are a lot, like I said, there's a lot of close coincidences here, and Concetta Barco is the common link between the two. So
We have a common link to that, and that's really what you need to kind of verifies.
Right.
So I think you need to find a death record for Concetta Marco.
Right.
And for
well, I've been doing all the kinds. Yep, I've been doing those kinds of searches. So let's see.
yeah, because her death record would give the name of her parents, and it would say whether she was the widow of Bologna or Brogna.
Well, let's see. Because I know on this side here, I've been searching. Unfortunately, this first one here, her birth date is 1820, essentially. So it kind of matches up there, whatever. All right. Well, I will keep searching and searching and searching and see if I can find something. But that, I was just wondering if it was a common thing there. Bologna is not a common name in Sicily.
No, that's
No, but,
northern Italy more, I think.
Yeah.
but Brogna it is. So maybe,
yeah.
or spell it in the wrong way at the time, so they misunderstood the Brogna with Bologna. It could be.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Also seem the same situation.
Very
Puccio with an F and Puccio with a P. Same kind of thing.
Okay. Well, it's a mystery that they'll have to wait for more time to go looking for stuff.
Oh, ciao, Sebi.
Ciao.
So, I was telling people about you earlier, the emails that
c'è nessuno che parla italiano?
You're muted, Eleonora.
I'm sorry. Io, ma che bello!
Ciao.
Ciao Eleonora, piacere.
Sebastiano, sei B, ciao.
Mangiameli, ok.
Esatto. Ciao.
My cousin.
Ah, okay.
So, Eleonora, ask him if he has contact information for his sister in Carlentini and his brother in...
Nick, ascolta, hai letto la mail che ti ho mandata ieri?
He's asking, did you read the email that he sent to you yesterday?
I did, yes.
Sì.
Hai capito che Turidda Cimino, Salvatrice Cimino, era la vicina della porta accanto.
So, Turidda Cimino, Salvatrice Cimino. They were the neighbors, the door close by.
Uh-oh.
Ok.
I'm going to turn the subtitles off. I'm having trouble with.
E Alfio Cimino, il figlio Alfio, era il mio compare di Cresima, grandfather.
The godfather for the confirmation. So, and the son was his godfather for the confirmation, not for the baptism, but was a godfather anyway.
So what was his address? What street did he live on when he was living in Carlentini?
Nick chiede qual era il tuo indirizzo quando vivevi a Carlentini?
Via Giovanni da Procida al 21. Via Giovanni da Procida 21.
Aspetta che lo scrivo. Allora, let me write it down. Via Giovanni da
Procida
number
21.
20, no, 21, number 21, ok.
Esatto. La signora Cimino, mia comare Cimino, abitava al 23. Il numero preso.
While my comare, so because when there is the godfather in the middle, we call each other comare. That is like an appellative. They are not part of the family, but they don't have blood in common, but it's like being same family, being part of the family. So when, for example, I chose, if I had a son and you, Nick, maybe you had a son, and that was the godmother of your son and you the godfather of my son, in that case, we had the San John together, what we call in dialecto un San Giovanni. That means a link between the godparents.
Ok, perfetto.
And we used to call each other compare.
Sì.
Compare, because we are more than neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Does it sound familiar for you? Maybe you heard those words when you were a child. San Giovanni, ma compare, commari.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard them?
Yeah. My mom always told my dad.
When you read the Italians of Omaha book, they talk about compare.
Okay.
Compare.
Compare, è brava.
Excuse me, Nick, volevo sapere se parli spesso con Angelo Randazzo.
Do you often talk with Angelo Randazzo?
No.
Is he the one that I was trying to look for in via Porta Siracusa?
Esatto, sì. Quello. È il fratello di mio compare.
E ho cercato di chiederlo a Lucia Brogna, ai vicini, insomma, di mia zia, accanto c'è Rosalba Caltabiano, se conoscevano questo Angelo Randazzo, ma non sono riuscita ad entrare in contatto con lui.
What did you say?
That I asked to my aunt, the neighbor, Rosalba, I remember 2 years ago to get some contact with Angelo Randazzo, but I haven't been able to find him.
Yeah, I don't know. Occasionally, I get a note on Facebook from Silvana and Panuccia, his daughters, but
let's see.
I sent him a letter not too long ago. He never responded, so I'm not sure how.
Dice che ha mandato una lettera non molto tempo fa, ma Angelo non ha mai risposto.
Angelo deve avere qualche anno in più, eh?
È vivo, giusto? Is he alive?
He is alive, yes.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about his health.
Maybe I don't know. What about maybe he's old or his healthy conditions? I don't know. Magari è anziano.
Sì, è anziano, deve avere 92 anni, guarda.
Ah, he should be 92. So maybe his healthy conditions are not that good. I don't know.
Who's this?
It's a cousin of mine. His mother was Salvatrice Cimino. I'm planning to meet his daughters when I go over there. And hopefully they'll take me to see him, or maybe they'll bring him to Silvana's house. Silvana's gonna have a party.
That'll be fun. Eleanor, would you ask Sebi if he could email the address of his mother and of the other, of Rosanna, and I think people? If he could email the addresses to me?
I sent him an email to that effect, asking for that as well, so.
I've asked him a couple of times, but I haven't gotten the answers yet.
Yeah, we need addresses or telephone numbers for his mother and his sister in Carlentini. And the one in Ragusa too.
Yes. She left us.
Let me, this is what I wrote to you today, Sebi. I'm going to show the page here. Eleonora,
Yes, I'm here.
would you tell Sebi to look at this email? I have it on the screen, but it should be in his inbox as well.
Allora, se possiamo darci del tu, giusto?
Parli con me? Sì, senz'altro.
Sì, ok. Diceva Nick se potevi dare un'occhiata a queste email che vedi nello schermo.
Sì, per me va tutto bene, tutto a posto, però devo precisare una cosa. Alfio Randazzo, mio compare, è già morto, eh. Io lo vedo lì.
Alfio Randazzo already passed away.
Ah, ok.
Ok. E tu quindi non abiti più in...
No, io ho 32 anni che abito a Milano.
Ah, ok. It has been 32 years now that I've been in Milan. Ok, ci sono. Lo sai che anche mio cugino Salvo vive a Milano, tanta gente si è spostata su al nord.
Sì, c'era anche Giuseppina Randazzo che è venuta a Milano, e la zia, il Nino Cimino.
Ah, even Giuseppina Randazzo, the aunt, went to Milan. E in quella via c'è pure Lucia a Bosco con il marito e hanno le figlie Elena.
No, i Bosco non li conosco.
Là nel cortile, sai dove c'è via Porta Siracusa a Ronco Quinto, dove c'è quella casa che sembra la casa dei fantasmi, spettrale.
Sì, ho capito dove, non è in via, è la traversa appresso via Porta Siracusa.
Sì, esatto.
Ma tu da dove parli? Sei in America o sei a Carlentini?
Allora, io ho tutta la famiglia a Carlentini, mia madre, mia zia, sono cresciuta a Vaneddi dentro in via Porta Siracusa in particolare,
sì.
ma adesso per lavoro abito a Modica.
Ho capito, mio fratello abita a Ragusa invece.
Ah, ok, e lavoro tutti i giorni a Ragusa e stasera sono arrivata un po' tardi perché ho avuto un inconveniente al lavoro, però io lavoro con gli americani da 15 anni. E tutto questo marchingegno di mettere su l'associazione, di creare il gemellaggio è partito da me e poi piano piano ho coinvolto Sherry e tanta altra gente che adesso qui è presente. Dopo 2 anni, man mano la famiglia si sta allargando sempre di più.
Capito.
E quindi siamo contenti che stiamo lavorando su tanti progetti. Uno di questi è proprio trovare parenti.
So, Sherry, you said that you guys have jam-packed your agenda for August, but do the travelers have the option of going out on their own at all, or are they stuck, or do you have to stay together?
We stay together, but on the 26th and 27th, I believe, we have 2 days.
27th and 28th, actually.
Thank you. 27th and 28th, there's some flexibility. But I think Eleanor and I might be booked with a lot of things going on.
Actually, for me, they are even free to leave in the morning and spend the whole day outside with other friend or family. Obviously, for those who are not prepared or maybe we have to plan something anyway. Plus, if the mayor will be there, obviously it will be like an official visit. So the mayor, he would like to offer us the breakfast, the granita, and we would like to take a picture all together with the mayor inside the city hall. So there is something to do, some duty, let's say, as an association, but obviously we don't oblige anybody to do those things. People are free to leave the group even for 2 days and spend time with the family.
So would you ask Sebi if he's planning to be in Carlentini when Marianne comes in August?
Of course. Allora, Sebbi, mi chiede Nick, tu per caso ad agosto quest'anno sarai a Carlentini durante la festività Lucia? Hai intenzione di andare a Carlentini?
Io non te lo prometto, però farò il possibile per esserci, guarda.
I can't promise you now, but I will do my best to be there. Perché Marianne vorrebbe incontrarti.
Anch'io avrei piacere di incontrarla.
He too. He would like to meet you.
Yes.
Oh, so beautiful.
That'll be fun.
Sì, sarebbe bellissimo. Allora, quest'estate, Sebbi, verranno 80 persone da Omaha, divisi in 2 gruppi di 40. Ci stiamo lavorando da 3 anni. E ci sarà il sindaco di Omaha, che è una bellissima donna che non guasta, voglio dire, ma sarà la prima visita ufficiale da parte di una delegazione di Omaha in visita a Carlentini, mentre noi, il sindaco, la moglie, l'assistente del sindaco e me come traduttrice dovremmo andare ad Omaha per la festa di Santa Lucia a luglio, e questa in 150 anni è la prima volta che le autorità visitano reciprocamente le città. Abbiamo già ottenuto il riconoscimento di città amiche e questo passo sarà fondamentale per ottenere il riconoscimento di città gemelle, e saremmo gli unici ad avere questo riconoscimento, perché Omaha è già città amica con altre 6 città. Ma la comunità carlentinese è, oltre ad essere una delle più numerose, anche quella con uno spirito, con un carattere, con una cultura ben definita, ed è l'unica cultura, a differenza della comunità irlandese, tedesca, piuttosto che giapponese, è l'unica che ha anche un luogo fisico, un quartiere, Little Italy, quindi loro sentono un senso di attaccamento molto profondo, che vogliono che venga riconosciuto, e ci stiamo lavorando tanto su questa cosa.
Mi fa piacere, ok?
Sì, questo è più o meno quello che sta accadendo, quindi se tu riuscissi a venire ad agosto sarebbe sicuramente una Santa Lucia totalmente diversa. Sto aprendo nel mio iPad, so I'm opening in
Dimmi
my
una cosa, Eleonora, come possiamo eventualmente metterci d'accordo per parlare un po' di questa roba?
Allora, io ti scrivo adesso il mio numero di telefono sulla chat.
Sì, dimmelo, dai.
Allora, 328
Sì.
69
69
52
52
165.
165. Ok.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Now I have my iPad finally. Okay, I can see you all. So beautiful.
Eleanor, are you coming to Omaha this July?
Yes, I will.
Oh,
Even if the world will fall, I will be there. Okay, I'm having dinner. Thank you for being my company tonight. I made this.
Buon appetito.
Grazie. Non ci sono arrivata prima. Quindi sì, parliamone molto volentieri. Let's talk about it.
So, Anthony Marino, you haven't had a chance to talk, I don't think.
she on there?
Yeah, I've been busy. Thanks to Dean for reminding me that the 1950 census is available today. I've been sitting here trying to get my preparation work. I did all the preparation work to find my enumeration districts, and I was clicking on the links and trying to find some 1950 census pages, but it looks like you have to have an ancestry subscription in order to see them. I can't get family search to work.
I don't think it's available till April 1st.
April 1st, yeah.
What was the availability today? Anything?
No, he was just saying it's coming in April.
Okay, well, I was able to get something to work. But it said that you had to have an ancestry subscription. If I put the link in the chat window, do you think you can click on it for me?
Sure.
Okay,
Nick
hold on.
invece sta venendo a Carlentini i primi di maggio, dal 29 al 3, 29 aprile, 3 maggio, mentre molti altri, quasi tutto il resto del gruppo verrà ad agosto e Sherry sarà la capogruppo di uno dei due gruppi. I was updating Tabby about your next trips. So while Anthony, Steve
I
Morse.
put it in the chat window.
Adesso stanno parlando di questa famiglia di Anthony.
Yeah, that's the Steve Morse website that'll help you to find the pages. Because there won't be an index April 1st. You're gonna have to try to browse and find them. I'm gonna wait for the index myself, but I did watch a presentation on how to do this, but I guess I didn't pay as close attention as I should have.
When will
Yeah, I
the
did
index
it.
be available?
I did the presentation also, and I did the grunt work to come up with the Excel spreadsheet to look up the geographical enumeration districts and to come up with the URL that I just put in the chat window.
Mhm.
My father in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Sharon.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but there's quite a lot of information out there about it. I think if we just Google 1950 census release, you probably get a nice little article about it. Well,
Yeah, I don't have it.
Tom's 1950 census page.
Ciao Tommy. Marianne, why we come to see you?
Her camera's not working, Eleanor.
Yeah.
Oh, were you talking to me, Eleonora? What did you say again?
Your camera is not working.
No, it isn't. I can't get it to work. I don't know what's wrong with it. But I'm
Okay.
here.
So this is the countdown for the release of the 1950 US Census. And April 1st.
What's that? Che cos'è questo?
I guess I'll wait till the April 1st in order to see if that link will work when it gets to be available.
Can you go a little bit higher? where there is the Vespa.
Oh, you want to see the Vespa?
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
think
nice.
those bicicletta.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's not the Vespa. Allora, Sebbi, noi usiamo tanti siti, ancestry.com come questo, Antenati, e lì ci sono tutti i documenti del tribunale, dell'ufficio stato civile, dell'ufficio anagrafe, quindi abbiamo lavorato per tanto tempo per avere accesso diretto ai registri, a tantissimi documenti, anche se ne mancano tantissimi. What Bob wrote something.
I
Allora,
wanted to know when the index is going to be available.
L'indice? Quale indice?
So
Which
let's
index?
just try that. When will 1950 census
Ah, il censimento del
index?
1950, ok, degli anni 50, ok, ho capito.
Okay. Okay, so this is a good article here on indexing the 1950 census from the Family Search blog. So I'll put that in the chat log.
Poi con Nick abbiamo e stiamo catalogando tutte le tombe del cimitero di Carlentini per poter fare un cimitero virtuale. Lui ha creato questo sito, già molte tombe sono state inserite, per cui quando si scrive il cognome automaticamente spunta la posizione della tomba e la foto. In futuro si spera che quando tutte le tombe saranno caricate, magari da lontano si potranno mandare dei fiori, pagare qualcuno che sul posto va a portare delle candele e quindi curare le tombe anche se loro non sono vicini.
Bene, bene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the images will be available on April 1st. But then it's going to be a volunteer effort to index. They're gonna start out by they will create an initial automated index using machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence handwriting recognition technology. So, but they don't guarantee the accuracy of that, and so they're going to go through and do an indexing process where they do a double-blind indexing, where they have two people look at the record, and then if they both agree, then
it's the right solution.
Arbitrator says yes, it's okay. If it's a disagreement, then the arbitrator has to go in and actually look.
Yeah, like with the wine, when we have to give a vote, a note. Yeah. Allora, praticamente sta dicendo che il 1° di aprile del 2022 si apriranno gli indici dei censimenti degli anni 50. All'inizio ci vorranno delle persone che faranno da volontari per poter trascrivere tutti questi indici e si avvaleranno di macchine che impareranno degli algoritmi e attraverso la tecnologia cercheranno di usare quindi l'intelligenza artificiale, e 2 persone molto abili con le ricerche genealogiche verranno messe di fronte a tutti questi documenti, e quando ci sono degli accordi lo chiamano tipo confronto alla cieca. Quindi se per una persona, quella persona di cui stanno parlando fa parte di quell'albero genealogico e concordano entrambi che sia morto, nato, eccetera, allora lo aggiungono. Se ci sono disaccordi invece poi fanno più ricerche. Quindi è tutto un lavoro infinito che va fatto ancora per quanto riguarda il catalogare tutte queste informazioni, per non parlare, e stiamo parlando degli Stati Uniti. Per non parlare da questa parte, noi siamo in contatto continuo con Rino Di Mauro e gli uffici al Carlentini, loro ci danno tanto una mano a trovare la gente.
Ho capito. Peccato che non ci sia io quando ero più giovane, perché io ho lavorato come ispettore di polizia a Lentini per 8 anni. E quindi all'ufficio anagrafe a Carlentini andavo, non dico tutti i giorni, ma quasi. e potevo
Quindi tu di
benissimo.
base sei un ispettore di polizia ancora in esercizio oppure
No,
non
io
lo fai più?
ho 76 anni, non sono tanto giovane.
Ah, ok, non l'avrei detto, però non so, da tanto tempo che sei in pensione.
Sì, dal 50, no, scusami, dal 67.
So Sebi is saying, oh, this is so
No,
bad
no,
that
no, no,
this
correggo dal
thing.
97, 97.
Ok,
L'avevo
grazie.
sbagliato.
Non ti preoccupare. He said that that's so bad that this thing is happening now that I'm here in Milan and I'm retired, because when I was at the beginning of my career, I was a policeman. And at the beginning, I worked in Lentini and Carlentini for 8 years. And I used to go to the Ufficio Anagrafe almost every day. And then I moved here in Milan and I get retired in the 97. So I was a policeman. Mhm. Ok. Un po' ti manca il tuo lavoro. Do you miss your job?
Sì, il lavoro mi manca, esatto, un pochettino mi manca.
Yeah, a little bit.
Era pesante però, lavorare a Lentini era pesante.
Working Lentini was very hard. Can I ask you why? Perché negli anni parliamo...
Perché Lentini è accanto a Catania c'era la mafia, quella vera, guarda, che risentiva tanto dell'influenza.
Parliamo degli anni 70?
Parliamo degli anni 70, esatto. Io sono stato a Lentini dall'84 al 90.
Okay, so I worked in Lentini from the 1984 till 1990. Well, those years, they were terrible in Sicily. Sono stati gli anni di fuoco, poi dei grandi exploit della mafia col giudice Falcone e Borsellino nel 92. So he said that at the time it was very, very dangerous and hard to work as a policeman in Lentini, because Lentini is too close to Catania, and in Catania there was the real mafia. So it was very dangerous at the time. Ho capito. Okay.
So do you think it's changed a lot since that time then, huh?
Yeah, it does. È cambiato tantissimo da allora, vero?
Che cosa, Catania?
Anche Lentini, sei tornato poi?
Sì, sono tornato, ma Lentini non cambia mai, guarda, è sempre la stessa. Almeno Lentini è sempre la stessa.
Lentini never changed. It's less dangerous, but the city is always the same. I'm coming, just 1 minute. I will be here, but I have to answer to the phone. Un attimo arrivo, devo rispondere a una chiamata, ma sono sempre qua.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see who else hasn't had a chance to pipe in there. Well, I see, is Bob Hughes still with us? Or did he have to leave? Bob, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Well, not a whole lot. I guess I've kind of haven't been that busy with genealogy the last couple of weeks, but I am going to get together with Deb Santos Saturday. We're going to talk about this story about the lady that came over with the 4 gentlemen. We're going to see if we can make a story out of that.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm just glad I found this group because, you know, like Anita said, you know, we found out that we may have discovered the name of someone in our grandfather's wedding that we thought was someone else. But Nick, thank you so much, you and Eleonora, for putting this all together. It's been such a help.
You're welcome. I want to thank Bob for working on the spreadsheet and keeping us updated on the contacts and so forth, and mailing that out on a regular basis. The group seems to keep growing, and I'm glad we have, you know, new faces every week practically.
Yeah, glad to do it.
So let's see, who else? Chris, I don't know if we really understood what Sylvana said, but she's gonna go back and check on that request.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll turn something up.
Mhm. We haven't really tried the social networking option with those folks. It usually works a little bit better if you have a picture. If you have a picture of somebody and you post it, there's immediate recognition. Like we did that with Anita, because she had a picture of the Mangano family.
Yeah.
And Paulo Mangano.
I
And,
could,
you know,
I
some of
could
his
probably find a picture of my grandfather, maybe. But that'd probably be it.
Yeah, we're looking
Like
for
I
the
said,
Sapienza side, right?
yeah, we knew so little about them. So, because he died when I was 6, I believe it was.
Mhm.
So we don't really have a lot of information. And the other brother that lived here died before I was born. So I didn't even have any clue about him.
Well, it was interesting because some of the things that you were saying, I couldn't really substantiate when I was looking at the family tree. Let me just show you what I was talking about.
Okay.
Where is it? Okay, here we go. So oh, that was that. Let me just, while I'm here, let me go back to that page I was on. This is the database that Dean was talking about. It's called Italy Phone Book Indexes. And so let's just say, let's just throw Sapienza in there and we'll put Lentini. So these are all the Sapienzas from Lentini. So there's R and Rosa and R and Rosa, but these are from Syracuse. So that's nearby, but it's not the same town.
First view record, and what do you come up with?
I'm kind of surprised because it says it's phone book, but it doesn't give you a phone number. Not that the phone number would still be the same, but
Gives you an address.
it gives you an address via Archimede. And of course, that's what's his name? Archimedes. Archimedes is how we say it. But he was Archimedes of Syracuse. The street was named after him. And he's one of the most famous people of Syracuse province. He lived a long time ago, obviously. But so that's the what?
You related to Pythagoras?
I don't know if they're related. I don't think they're related, but they were both mathematicians.
Similar work.
So anyway, this is some way you can, this is a way you can track down your living relatives. So let's go here and tree search, and we're looking for is it Alfio Sapienza?
Yep.
Okay, so. Okay, so his father was Philadelphia. And if you change to the descendant view, where'd Alfio go?
I don't know. He went right there with Giuseppe.
Okay, so this is your ancestor right here, Giuseppe.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we had more names in there than this. Maybe I have a duplicate. It's not. Oh,
There he
okay,
is.
this is where we need to be. So so this
You think you were-
Philadelphia may be the one. No, because we don't have a spouse for him. This guy actually died in Omaha.
Right. That's the brother that came here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a sister that we haven't found.
Okay, these are the ones that we were working on. It was the children of Torino.
Ok, Nick, I go. Ciao.
Okay, Sebi.
Ciao, Sebi.
Ciao,
Hi, Sebi.
risentirci. Ciao, ciao.
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 Thank you.
Grazie, ciao.
Grazie mille. Okay, so these are the ones we're trying to track down at this point. There was a Giuseppe that was born in 1933 and a Maria. And we don't know, you know, they may not have stayed in Lentini.
So was just Giuseppe is the one that has passed away. It's his wife that we're looking for, right?
I believe that's the last we heard, yes, was that
Okay.
that he had died, but we didn't have dates.
So these are from Alfio and Conchetta Maki.
Yes.
How many children did he have? They have?
6.
Okay, well, I got 5 out of 6.
So Giuseppe was the father, Alfio's the brother.
The son.
The son
Brother?
of. So
He's the
Alfio
brother.
is your ancestor, right?
Right. He's my grandfather.
He's your grandfather. And
And
his
he-
brother is Torino. And
He was from
Torino had
Lentini?
2 children.
He was from Lentini, Alfio?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they come up with at the city and whether these people, these 2 in particular, whether they are alive and whether they have any children.
Okay.
I mean,
But we still
theoretically,
don't
they
know.
could be alive, but they'd be pretty old by now.
Yeah, we still don't know anything about the sister though.
Right.
Okay.
So I think what I need to do is add that information that we wrote in the email. So
The name of the parents, Alfio Sapienza.
this is what we wrote, basically.
Right.
Giuseppe Sapienza è morto. So let's translate that.
Oh, I thought you did
So
it.
everybody. No, I was just going to show everybody what we wrote. Okay, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought
died
we
while
did it in English and Italian.
I would like news of his wife, whose last name, we spelled it wrong, should be cognome, is Di Caro, and of the children. I would like to meet in August on my occasion. Attaching copy of, yeah. So all we know is that his wife's maiden name was Di Caro. That was the only additional information we got from her visit. So we can at least add that. But it's not a lot to go on. Oh, that would be interesting, we'll go back to that database that we were using for the Italy phone books and see if she's in there. So this is how I get to it. If you lose the link that I put on Facebook, I just go to the card catalog and I put Italy phone in the title and I hit search and it brings the index up. So if we put the name Di Caro and we put the city Lentini, we hit search. Let's see if she comes up. Because remember, there is a Maria Di Caro. And there's all these other Di Caros. There's quite a few Di Caros, which is interesting.
One female.
So to copy that. And so that's possibly where she lives. So then I would just put that in our notes field just so that we have the information. And usually when I find something like this I'm not sure of, I just make a note. So you could go knock on the door.
Okay.
So who else do we got here? I see Tammy joined us late in the game. Are you there, Tammy?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Well, I see. I said Tammy, but Sandy, I didn't notice you over there. So I'm glad that you piped in there because I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together and I'm realizing that you and Marianne are related.
Oh yeah, she's my mom.
Yeah, so we had Sebi on here. I don't know if you saw him.
I saw the very tail end.
Yeah. I was I was wanting to know because he mentioned, well, all this information is is in the family tree.
Right.
Is what he told me. Because he was relaying, you know, his father's birth and death information and his mother and all of that. But I don't have access to your tree, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I had given that to you. Mine is what I have on Ancestry is very minimal. It's actually my other side of the tree, not the Italian side, but I can easily get that to you. Yeah, Sebi and I chatted many, many years ago, and we actually tried to do Skype video, but I don't speak Italian. He doesn't speak English, so that didn't go over well. And but yeah, he and my mom, I believe, are first cousins, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because his mother and no.
And his mother and my grandfather, I think.
Were siblings.
Yes.
So that would make you first cousin once removed. So yeah, it's in there, but yeah, her grandfather and Sebi's mother, maybe, or grandmother were siblings.
So they're either first cousins once removed or second cousins.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and he's had an interesting life, and it was just interesting listening to him talk about, you know, the mafia in Catania and how difficult it was to be a policeman in Lentini, and that's kind of what I was hoping he would write to me about, but just listening to him talk about it was probably more revealing than what he would write in an email.
Yeah.
Well, and he has a daughter who it's his youngest child, and she is, from what I understand, very fluent in English.
Yes,
so
she is.
if I send him a message, she will translate, you know, before Google Translate was as good as it is, she would translate. And I know that she speaks English, but I don't know where she lives right now.
She isn't in Milan. I guess she's a little ways from there. I don't know what the name of the city is.
She was in college when I talked to him last, so
Yeah.
it's been quite a few
Yeah.
years before we moved here, and we've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I met with Eleonora and Silvana, and Silvana's daughter Erica, who speaks English beautifully. And the reason I bring that up is because she's going to help us, because Eleonora is working in the mornings. So we have Eleonora in the afternoons and we have Erica in the mornings to be our translator. Erica is going to meet with us at the Ufficio Anagrafe, and we're going to meet with Reno Damaro and Lucy Latina. And that'll be the Monday of our trip, which is Monday, May 2nd. And Erica is going to translate for us. And I need to invite Pippo Folletti, who used to have, I'm not sure if he had Lucy's job or Reno's job or what, but he worked there, and he wrote me a letter in 1992, and he's still kicking around. I have emailed him and asked him for things, and he's been Johnny on the spot as far as looking stuff up for us.
Wonderful.
And Susan Finley's not with us anymore, but she sent him to the cemetery, and he took pictures and the whole bit. So I'd like to cultivate that resource a little bit more. So I want to meet him and see how he's doing. He doesn't speak any English either. But, you know, we've been emailing, and that, you know, I can write to him in Italian using Google Translate, and he just responds back in Italian.
That's what I do when I email to Sebi. I have to use Google Translate.
Mm-hmm. It works beautifully.
Yeah.
It works well enough to understand to figure out what they're saying. Because
Right.
it's not perfect, but it gets the point
You
across.
get the gist of it.
Well, like I transcribed everything that Sebi told me into the Italians of Omaha tree. And there was like a few things where he said, well, they had the sons. I think it translated as sons. Figlie translated as sons. And when it actually meant children, because there was
Right.
a boy and a girl. So you kind of got to watch for some of those little things.
You seem to get him and her mixed up too.
Yeah, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, so that makes it kind of hard sometimes to understand.
You have to watch for that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you use? Do you use a program at home for your genealogy stuff, or is it only on Ancestry?
It's principally on Ancestry, but I was using Personal Ancestral File, which is a relic, and I was trying to print out a descendant list for the descendants of Sebastiano Cimino, who's my second great grandfather. And it has the list of all the people I want to meet, because I've got all the living people in there as well. But Personal Ancestral File gave up the ghost on me. So I went and I purchased a copy of Roots Magic for $40.
Okay.
And I see that Jim Beckman's got Family Tree Maker.
That's what I use.
What are other people using? Anybody else using Family Tree Maker?
Have you seen my form?
I've seen your form, yeah. Yeah, you use a Word document.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I was going to say, I can email you what I have on that side of the family. And you have a lot of it, but I've got everything that I can find on there. And
well,
I
was just trying to get into a database that had where I could save it to the tree rather than having to transcribe it. But
right. Well, and that's why I wondered what you had, because I think I can send it to you in, I can't think of what the other format is.
JEDCOM. You can send me a
What?
JEDCOM.
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Okay. I'll play with that and see if Roots Magic is supposed to coordinate with Ancestry. I haven't tried it yet.
And so does Family Tree Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got the latest version? You supposedly, and I haven't done this yet, you can download information directly from Family Search too.
In
Right.
Family
Just
Tree
like-
Maker?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I've been experimenting, putting stuff going the other direction with GEDCOMs and actually populating stuff in Family Search. So it's interesting. Unfortunately, the descriptions, it puts in GEDCOM, whatever, in the description field instead of what I have in the description field. So I'm gonna have to ask somebody how to get around that. Because I have more meaningful information.
If you also copy it over to the notes, it picks up the notes.
On GEDCOM files?
Yeah, on JEDCOM files.
All right. I will give that a try.
Yeah, I've got both Family Tree Maker and Roots Magic. I've used Family Tree Maker was the first thing I got, so I kept on it. And I like it, but it's expensive. And you can only have share with one or two computers. The Roots Magic was only, like Nick said, about $40. And I think you can have unlimited, sharing. So, because if I want to have more than one account, then I've got to pay money for a family account or something. Look out.
Oh, on okay.
Family Tree Maker. Yeah, it just got too expensive. So,
I-
but the
I-
Roots Magic, you know, you can
Yeah.
kind of share with
The
other family
program isn't
members.
that expensive. And I figure, I'm sorry, I've paid for it. And and I'm the only one who uses it. So if I have it on my computer and my laptop and something else, I don't care. It's still just me using it. I don't care how many computers I put it on.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And a few years ago, the PC or the laptop that it's running on, I bought the fastest thing I could find and the biggest amount of memory and all the rest of that stuff, you know, and that's how, you know, I've got the 45,000 plus individuals, you know, are indexed on my tree surface. Yeah, that's, you know, that's what used to be, what was the other program? Quicken.
Well,
Quicken
my
used to
watch
be-
is telling me to stand up, so I think that means it's time to end the meeting.
Yes, that's it.
It's very smart that you listen to your wife.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you all, and I was very pleased to see Sebi here today, and I think we had a good round robin discussion. I'm sorry, Tammy, that we didn't get you much of a chance to talk. Maybe you could just say a few minutes before we leave.
Hi. I've been doing a lot of research and anyway, yeah, so, and anyway.
Where do you live, Tammy?
I'm up north, in Justin, Texas, up near
Okay.
Texas Motor Speedway.
She's north of me. That's what she's in relation to, but the rest of them are all further north of you, Tammy.
Oh, okay.
Tammy,
But I'm
in
gonna be in
Fort
Houston
Worth.
this weekend. I'll be in Houston this weekend. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to the Italian festival.
Oh, cool.
So
Did you have a bunch of
Closer to me,
storms
I'm
in
in Fort
Houston?
Worth.
Didn't you just have a bunch of storms down there?
where?
In Houston?
Houston,
Um,
in that area?
Nothing too big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went for a walk this morning and they're doing road construction. They're repairing the water main out on the arterial street in front of our house, or in front of our subdivision. And all of the road closed signs were blown over. So there were all these idiots trying to drive through these big construction zones. Okay, folks. Well, thank you all for another great edition of Genealogy.
I'm sorry,
Omaha,
I'm on the phone. It's an
Carlentini,
important call.
and
See you
beyond.
next week. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye, Eleonora.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao tutti.